Hey guys, Bubba here with the Bubba News, all in one word, all in one news. How are you guys doing tonight on this Friday night? I decided to take off my reader glasses for now because you guys see the reflection when I put this thing on, and I've got the Chromebook right here in front of me. But I wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk about the Abraham Shield Plan that's coming up. That's going to lead into, and it's a breakaway from the Abraham Accords, but this Abraham Shield Plan is going to lead into the upcoming Abraham Alliance. And I want to get into some things into this plan because it starts coming, stuff is starting to click now that we've had Trump's speech this week on Tuesday when he said he's going to take over Gaza to the gasps of the Middle East and the entire world. But it appears that Gaza will become the lab rat for the rest of the world. Basically, it's going to be a build back better kind of a scenario. The Abraham Shield Plan is a strategy proposed by Israel's Coalition for Regional Security that effectively establishes a technocratic transitional government in Gaza where all cash will be abolished. Sounds familiar, huh? Because they want to get this going to stabilize the Middle East through Saudi normalization. They want to have Palestinian separation from Israel. And they want to have a united front against Iran. So I'm going to get over here to what we've got going on, the Abraham Shield Plan, because what they have coming is pretty crazy. And I'll put the link down below of the Abraham Shield Plan. You guys can read it once the video's over if you really want to. But this came out January 22nd. And I want to start highlighting some things that is in there because it has everything to do with what Trump is doing. The Abraham Shield Plan of the Coalition for Regional Security is a new Israeli political security initiative that paves the way for the state of Israel to emerge from wars of attrition to a reality of security, stability, and prosperity based on the current regional opportunity. And they believe that they have a full-on regional opportunity right now with the Saudi Arabia normalization, with everything that Trump has brought forth, like to take over Gaza, which will not happen. There will not be U.S. boots on the ground. But this is all setting up for what they have planned. The historic mission of the state of Israel is to translate its tremendous military achievements into a political turning point, one that will break the Iranian stranglehold, leverage the current regional opportunity, there's that regional opportunity word again, and create a new regional order in the Middle East. This sounds like a peace plan that is coming up. I'm going to just go with point number 1 and dissect it in point number 4. So we'll keep this short, but they want to close the front in Gaza in the war. They want to return all the hostages, and they want to establish a technocratic transitional government in Gaza and a regionally led de-Hamasification. And this is all part of their plan. And my point bringing this up tonight even is because this is all setting up, and what Trump is doing, what Mohammed bin Salman is doing, what MBZ of the United Arab Emirates is doing, and the rest of the players involved, they're getting ready for this two-state solution and the plan that is coming. Let's go to the next one. The state of Israel, and they tell us what they're going to do, guys. This is my point. The state of Israel will declare victory in Gaza and the defeat of Hamas's military force. Israel will promote a comprehensive ceasefire and commit to the withdrawal of all IDF forces from Gaza in exchange for the return of all hostages, living and dead. Israel will reach a bilateral understanding with the United States on freedom of action for security operations and targeted raids in the future to prevent Hamas's reinsurgence and to dismantle terrorist infrastructures. In other words, after this 6-week first phase 1 is over, and they just started on Tuesday doing phase 2 negotiations with Hamas in Qatar, however you say it, whatnot. And they've actually, some of the Israeli bigwigs have left to go meet this weekend in Doha, Qatar, to get this thing going at the end of the 6 weeks that is coming up here in a few weeks. Israel will work with its regional, listen to the wording, guys, regional and international partners to establish a technocratic transitional government in Gaza with regional backing. Every time it says regional, I want you guys to think of Saudi Arabia boots on the ground, United Arab Emirates boots on the ground, regional backing that will provide all civilian services to the Palestinians of Gaza during this transition period. Check this out. Arab police forces, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and a few other countries will operate in Gaza to establish law and order during this transition period. They're telling us what they're going to do. It's not going to be Israel, and it's not going to be the United States. It's going to be Arabs. The reconstruction package for Gaza will be led and financed by the West, the United States and Europe, France, Germany, United Kingdom, and the moderate Arab states led by who? The United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, guys. Again, they're the ones that are going to finance the majority of this because they're going to put the boots on the ground with the Arab police force in Gaza. Check this out at the bottom. Cash in the Gaza Strip will be abolished. Zero cash. And an advanced mechanism of monetary supervision will be implemented. What does that say to you? They're going to implement a digital identification, bring in a digital monetization, and you'll be able to buy or sell once you have that. But there will be zero cash because they want to prevent Hamas from taking the humanitarian aid that is coming into Gaza and hoarding it and then selling it at up higher prices to the Gazans and the people that live there. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to go to number 4 now. Here's where we start getting deeper. Deepening the moderate regional coalition, returning to a fast-track normalization with Saudi Arabia. This is what they're doing and what they're working on right now. And they're going to expand the Abraham Accords. And this is why they came out with this Abraham Shield Plan as a mediation or a middle part from the Abraham Accords to this Abraham Shield Plan of this transition period that will end up being the Abraham Alliance in the days to come. Israel will first establish a normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia. Israel and Saudi Arabia are going to come to a normalization agreement, but the two-state solution will be part of this plan. The arrangement will promote Israel's continued integration throughout the moderate Arab world. This is talking about Bahrain, Morocco, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, other countries. Israel will initiate the establishment, here we go, of the Abraham Alliance, a moderate regional coalition that will regulate the security, the intelligence, and political cooperation in the Middle East between Israel, Egypt, Jordan, the UAE Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Sudan, and other moderate countries with the backing of the United States and the West, like the European Union. The next point, Israel will work within this framework of the Abraham Alliance to strengthen the stability of Egypt and Jordan and to weaken the regional national terrorist organizations, their financing, and their armament methods. Now, we've got to keep in mind that Israel has a peace plan with Egypt that got going in 1979, and they have a peace plan with Jordan that got going in 1994, but these are still paper-thin treaties. And you guys know as well as I do that the Middle East could be a firecracker that could just be set off tomorrow. Israel will work to define the Abraham Alliance region as a special trade zone in the Middle East and as a global economic hub. Guys, Jerusalem is going to be the world capital of the world very soon, going into the tribulation period. This is going to be nuts. And it's all getting set up for this. This is wild. Agreements will be signed for regional economic cooperation in the fields of research, technology, science, environment, tourism, trade, agriculture, and water, because water purification in the Middle East is very scarce, while building mega projects of infrastructure, railways, and cross-border roads between the Gulf and the Mediterranean Sea that will open up major new markets to the state of Israel. Saudi Arabia, with their Vision 2030, wants to be the financial hub of the world of the Middle East, especially of the Middle East. They want to be the Europe of the Middle East. But this is going to connect through Israel all the way from China and India via the Belt Road Initiative that will connect through Saudi Arabia into Israel and Europe. I'm going to finish up with number 6, an Israeli declaration of a gradual, responsible, secure path of Israel separating from the Palestinians within a decade. I say within a year, less than a year, 2025 in my opinion, as part of a comprehensive regional agreement. Look at how many times they're talking about this comprehensive regional agreement and regional players. Political, geographical, and demographic separation from the Palestinians is in any case a clear Israeli interest. Israel and the Palestinians want to be separate. A declaration on a path of separation from the Palestinians is the key to advancing a regional package deal, including the normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia and the new coming Abraham alliance, assets that are more essential to the national security of the state of Israel than ever before in its confrontation with the Iranian threat. The paradigm of managing the conflict has collapsed. Israel cannot manage this conflict any longer, and they know they need help. This is why they're going to go to Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and other moderate Arab partners. We must separate from the Palestinians once and for all and define the permanent borders of the state of Israel in order to preserve Israel's security and their character. Previous negotiations with the Palestinians may have failed, but they were not part of a comprehensive regional settlement. This is why they're going to bring in Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, the United Arab Emirates, MBZ. Israel has never given a leading role to the moderate Arab states. They're going to turn this over to them. Israel's going to turn a lot of this over to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is going to come into Gaza. Saudi Arabia is going to come into the West Bank. And we read about this, about the Antichrist, when he builds his royal pavilion, his royal palace, between the great seas of the Sea of Galilee and the Dead Sea and the Holy Mountain, the Temple Mount. Where is he going to build that? Judea, Samaria, which is today, modern day, the West Bank. Israel has never given a leading role to these moderate Arab states and has never given a chance to a path for a comprehensive regional settlement. It's going to be a Middle East peace plan in which resolving the conflicts with the Palestinians is only one component within this package, this regional package deal, because the two-state solution and coming peace is coming. Guys, that's all I have for you tonight. I just wanted to keep this short because this is getting nutty, Professor. And the closer we get to seeing all this coming to fruition, the closer we know the end is coming. And we're going to start seeing this start picking up, I believe, here in the next few weeks as they round out the first phase of the 6-week plan. It began on January 19th. And I believe it ends here in a few weeks. And they're going to start negotiating for phase 2, where Israel is going to start pulling out. But they want all of their hostages out of Gaza, dead or alive, to be returned to them. Now, the Palestinians, especially those of Hamas in Gaza, are warning the United States and Israel, if they even think about putting boots on the ground, or if Trump wants to take over Gaza, this is going to throw a major wrench into any more hostages being released. So, guys, it's getting ready to get nuts. Stay plugged in because it's getting ready to change, and it's going to start changing quick. Thanks for watching, guys. We will talk to you soon, and Maranatha.